Yes, Cedric's in that side.
What impressed you more, as you look back at the tape, what impressed you about the way he handled himself in that game?
Well, I mean, it's his first NHL game, playing against his old team. The barn's full, and it's a big game. We need to bounce back, so everything was there for him to have his nerves shattered. And I thought he kept his cool. And, he's a battler, though. He's a warrior. So after that first goal, I'll be honest, I wasn't surprised that the rest of the game he was solid. That's how he's been. I coached him 3 years. He shuts the door at some point, so that's his biggest asset. He did it again, so I'm impressed by the fact that he was able to control his nerves.
What is it about guys like goalies like him who can shut the door? What is it about? What qualities make him a goalie like that able to shut the door when after maybe a rough goal?
They move on. You know, they move on. They move on either a bad goal or they move on after they do great. So you can actually expect to bounce back at any moment with guys like that.
Assuming you didn't wait till this morning to tell him he's starting, or did you tell him?
No. He knew yesterday. Last time was different. I needed to. First of all, the reality was I was hesitating a lot last game. I wouldn't have been hesitating at all if it wasn't the Canadiens. People think I put him in because it was the Canadiens. It's the opposite. I almost didn't put him in because it was the Canadiens. If it was any other team, he was going in for sure. My plan was when our streak ended that we were going to put him in because we wanted to give him some ice time before he goes back. And because it was the Canadiens, I was hesitating because of it'd be a lot more to manage than just his NHL game. It was a lot. So the team that traded him, players he's played with before, whole organization, everything else. So I didn't want to make it bigger than it was. But the reality is we got to control our team. We got to coach our team, not the other team. So we figured, hey, we're going to put him in. But I told him in the afternoon because I didn't, I wanted to sleep the night before. I wanted to talk to Ellis first. I wanted to make sure I did it right for him and for Ellis and for the team. And that's why in the morning I didn't want to mention anything.
Any one specific thing where you decided, yeah, we can put him in on this one?
Sorry?
Was there any one specific thing that kind of tipped the scales?
Yeah, after talking to both of the goaltenders, I wanted to make sure that his reaction was a go-ahead one. He can answer whatever he wants, but I can see by his demeanor and by the way he answers and by his look, because I know him really well. I know when he wants it, and he wanted that one really bad, so I figured perfect moment. So then after I told him, obviously I was real comfortable with the decision.
What are the reports you're hearing on Mike in terms of his recovery?
Well, at first it was slower than we thought, and now it's picking up. It's picking up, so that's good. It's good, yeah. So he should be back soon enough. Reports on down really good. He wanted to play today. He really wanted to play today, and he still wants to play today. But we'll wait. Washington's the target.
Coming from Mike, will he be ready by next week? Anything or?
From what I hear, he should be. Yes, he should be. Yeah.
So he'll start practicing with you guys in the next, on the road
Yeah,
trip, I guess.
this week, yeah. Okay. Bring him on the road, and he should be practicing with us, and he's getting a brace also. So hopefully he's okay by next weekend.
Coach, how's Tyrell?
He's playing. Okay. He was first period. He injured himself, and one thing I know about him, if he's out, it's because he's hurt. He takes a lot of punishment and keeps going. He's actually fearless. I don't know if that's going to change over the years, but right now it's quite impressive. But he came back, and trainer tried to keep him out, but there was no way. So came back and played actually pretty good for what he's got, and he's okay to play today. Didn't practice yesterday, but he's in the game today.
Will you go at 12-6? Or?
Yes, yes, yeah. We're Jones going to be out.
He's
Jones
out?
is out, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Same.
Same thing. Last portion of the game, he didn't play. He wasn't feeling so good, so I want to make sure that we give ourselves a chance for the next game at least, not have this take too many games.
With the start the other night, obviously things really picked up later on, but Was the team a little overly conscious of Cedric's predicament there, first game, and you want to make sure you guard the house and you're not maybe on your toes as much as you normally would be?
Well, you know what? I thought about it a lot after the first. I was a little, I don't know. I'm not going to use the word. We'll use mad. How's that?
Yeah, just ask Chief, he'll fill in the blank.
Yeah. After first period, let's say my words were not necessarily chosen very well, but they were direct and they were honest about how I felt about that first period. The reality is, I think it might have been two things. Some guys not awake, surprised by the speed of the Canadians, and maybe knowing how they were struggling lately, or in which maybe is more the reality is I think a lot of guys were nervous to start this game because during the national anthem, abnormally, guys just, you could see they were a little too anxious. And, you know, so I thought they were ready to go, but then when the game started, so I think we froze a little bit. I don't know if it was because the barn was full. I know when it's the Canadians, it's always special for a lot of our players. And the fact that we wanted to rebound from the previous game, and you know, maybe a new goaltender in nets, and you want to do well for him, but you want to do too well. So I think the mix of all of that, whatever it is, certainly made for a really bad period for us. I thought we didn't allow tons of shots, but we weren't first on the puck, and we were losing battles, or we were losing our structure left and right. So I wasn't too happy about that one. But bounced back in the second, came out strong in the third, and gave out very few scoring opportunities to the opponent, so back to normal.
On a few occasions, the last couple of games, you have taken penalties, or inside 10 seconds into a power play, basically. You know,
Yes.
is that something where guys are trying to be too aggressive, or trying to be...
Well, you're absolutely right. The one thing that I found in our last 10 games of power plays were a little too soft on face-offs, too soft on battles. And now we're asking the guys to be more aggressive, but now they're taking it to a level that is a more aggressive one, but not a smart one. So we want to make sure that we improve because, you know, lately we've scored in power play, but we've wasted more than half our power plays with a penalty. So, you know, that's one of our strengths, and we're taking it away ourselves. So we want to make sure that we don't do that. Yeah.
What are your thoughts about being in a race for first place? Just about the midway point of the season?
The only time for me that it matters is around Christmas time and around the end of the year. And the reason for that is Christmas time is usually a time where it's hard for the players to play. Their minds are already Christmas and family and stuff. And we kind of jolt them with a little target, which we did. It's the only time I talked about it. I haven't talked about it since then, and I won't until the end of the year when it's a race and a battle for something. I strongly believe that we need to focus on the process, not the result. When you get lost in the result, you lose your process, you lose your way of getting there. When you take care of the process, you find your way there a lot more, a lot better. Every year, I never talk about the standings, so I haven't talked to them about it. So. It's for two reasons. One is when you talk about it, you either feel that there's something pressing right off the bat when you start your game, and then the minute you're losing, you're in trouble. And the other thing too is if you're doing well like now, has a tendency to you know, sit on your laurels or not see the urgency in things. Yeah, I think standings are for people who watch the game and who follow it and had fun with their pools and their. But for hockey players, has a tendency to throw you in the wrong direction.
Where are you with that process compared to maybe where you thought you'd be at this point in the year?
Well, I think, I haven't checked again today, but as of late we were first, and so at worst we're maybe second for the least shots allowed in games. So that's, you know, we want to be first in the league, so that's okay. You know, we're in the top 5 for power play, but we want to be first. Penalty kill, we dropped down, but we're catching up again. We were in the top 5. Actually, we were second for a big part of the season. So special teams, you know, we're doing okay. We want to do better. 5-on-5 defensively, we want to allow less goals, but it's not a matter of shots. I think there's a few things we need to work on. We're getting better at. But I think that we've got ways to go in terms of being consistent throughout 60 minutes. I mean, every team says that, every coach says that, but the reality is it's until you can do that game in, game out. You can't be perfect, but you got to reload quick in games, within games, and from game to game to get the same kind of consistency from everybody. We're not there yet. We're far from where we want to be, and I know there's great teams out there, and everybody's going up and down, great stretches, bad stretches. I think our goal is not to hit a long, bad stretch. We haven't had one yet, and I think that's why we're where we are right now. We rebound quick, and I think that's probably the secret of our success right now. But we're far from what I want.